If you ever wished you could take a simple photo and instantly turn it into a high production video without spending thousands of dollars to produce it, you're about to see exactly how that is done, because this entire luxury brand ad that you're watching right now is actually created from a photo I snapped on my iPhone. There was no expensive cameras, no editing team, and no big budgets for this, but that's not even the crazy part, because this process works with any single photo it is that you take. And let me show you some examples so you can visualize this for your brand or your business. Let's say you sell handbags at a local shop in a small town, but you want a cinematic social media post.
Every stitch, every detail, handcrafted in Italy for those who carry more than just luggage.
Imagine you run a coffee shop and you want ads of your morning latte. Maybe you sell clothing and you want it to just feel like it came out of a fashion show from a brand new studio. Even a basic photo of an office product can now be something that's even amazing for your own website.
Make your perfect coffee in 15 seconds or less.
So in this video, I'm going to walk you through every single step of how I do this. And I'm giving away everything for free inside of my Skool community, which is going to be the first link in the description. And that means you will get the full download of my automation, so you don't have to set anything up yourself. Plus, I will give you every single prompt I've used to make videos just like these. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to create high production ads, social media videos, or website visuals for your own brand or business. You can sell this as a service to other businesses, or you can even turn this into a software product. And if you own a business and want a custom AI agent built completely done for you, I do run an agency arm where I might be able to help you. If you want to see if I can help you, go ahead and click the second link in the description, and me and my team will get back to you. So the first thing I'm going to show you is all of the resources I'm giving away for free and how to go ahead and implement this. So this is actually my Skool community. This is where you're going to have all the prompts and links, which is everything's going to be inside of this Notion doc. It's also going to have access to all the tools, and you're going to be able to download this entire workflow, which is right here. Go into n8n and then be able to upload it just by importing this file, and you'll have all of this done completely for you without lifting more than 2 fingers. But going over the resources, so these are going to be all of the tools. So the first tool is n8n, the second, which is just going to be the automation tool, the AI agent tool. Second one's going to be VO3, which is the video model tool. So it's all the videos that you just saw. VO3 is the one that creates all these videos. And then Telegram is just going to be the way that we go ahead and chat and text our AI agent. Now you can interchange this with Slack. You can interchange this with basically anything it is that you want, realistically. So for those of you that don't know what n8n is, let me go ahead and show you a quick little diagram. Basically, AI agents and n8n, it basically just equals your entire business on autopilot. And this is exactly how we're going ahead and starting to replace. So the thing I want to show you next is a little bit about what AI agents are and what n8n is, because a lot of people get this concept confused. So AI agents and n8n, it basically just equals your business on autopilot. And this is exactly how businesses are now replacing all their expensive human labor with digital employees for pennies on the dollar, essentially. First thing, from a super high level, what is an AI agent? It's just your digital employee. They act like employees. They think through problems for you. They learn your business, and they have all the context of your business. They have access to your project management tools, your CRMs, your social medias, etc. They work 24/7. They talk to customers, send messages, analyze info, create marketing material. They can literally do anything a human employee can do. You just have to really build out your AI agent to be able to do that. That's it. Now the question is, what is n8n? Great question. It's basically the brain. It's like the control center. It's where you build all of these AI agents. So now you can go ahead and you can connect all these AI agents to all of your different apps and systems. You can automate processes, so therefore it has the ability to think like a human. You can plug in all of your business tools, all of your CRMs, your PMSs, like I was saying. Now AI has gotten to the point where what used to take teams of hundreds and what used to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, even for payroll, so all these AI agents can literally do this now for you. And again, for pennies on the dollar. Here is a live case study. I do consulting and client acquisition, but I'm not going to go into this too much, but this is literally one case study out of 100 billion. So without boring you to death, next thing I'm going to do is show you a little bit about how this AI agent is built out inside of n8n. So the first thing, as you guys all know, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a photo with our camera. We're going to be able to send it of any single product. For example, I have AirPods right here next to me. It's going to create prompts and then it's going to create the full video ad that we need for us. So let me show you exactly how this entire automation is built out. This is what it looks like from a high level. As you can see, it's very basic and gets the job done. So this is Telegram, but if I'm going to show you and walk you through this step by step, I'll show you live right here. So basically, this whole part is the idea creation. So the first thing we have is a Telegram trigger. Again, like I said, you can do this with Slack or anything it is that you really want. But you'll go ahead and you'll send in a photo of the product it is that you want, and you'll give it a little bit of a description. The more of a description you get, the better result you'll get as of right now. So after you go ahead and do this, it's going to automatically send you a message basically saying I'm coming up with a prompt. It's going to analyze this photo, and then it's going to create a prompt for the video that it ends up creating. Now, a lot of these videos and how the videos get created, all this really comes down to this one step right here, which is going to be the prompt. And again, I have all the prompts and everything inside of this, which is inside of my Skool community. Skool community is entirely free as well. After that, though, we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean everything. It's just cleaning the data in the back end. But this human in the check part is basically like, it's saying like, hey, before we go ahead and create this video, I want a human to go ahead and check this and be able to make sure this is good before I get this video created and spend 40 cents on this video. So it's a really good way to give yourself the best pulse. And as you can see, just like this, they're going to load right now, but there will be a form that pops up. I already filled out this form. That's why it didn't pop up. After you go ahead and approve everything, it will go ahead and create the image, and then it will create the video and then send it back to you. So this is an example. As you can see, it's open backwards, but that is totally fine. It's going to be based off of the prompt that you give it, but that just requires a little bit of tweaking inside of this prompt. Also, I use RoboNuggets prompting for this. He's amazing at all this as well. But yeah, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how to build this step by step using all of my documentation that I have recorded for you for free. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so I started a brand new canvas inside of n8n, and again, all the resources that you will need is going to be all in the tools or in the links right here. So we're going to use n8n for this automation. You can go ahead and sign up right here. VO3 is really, we're going to use Key AI. This is the cheapest way to access VO3 through an API as of right now. And we're also going to use Telegram. You can use whatever it is that you want, but Telegram's going to be the easiest for this setup. So the first thing I'm going to do is we got to have a trigger. So whenever we have an n8n workflow, we have to start off with some sort of trigger. Now, the trigger I'm going to use is going to be Telegram, and I'm going to use on a message. So that's basically saying whenever I go ahead and message this, I now want it to be able to pick up all of the data inside of here. So the next most important thing is you're going to go ahead and you're going to click this, which is the bot father, and it's going to open up Telegram inside of here. But this is how we're going to go ahead and create our API key. So therefore, Telegram can now talk to our n8n and send all the data and the photos over, and it can send the final result back to us. Inside of here, all you will do is just do /new bot, and that's all you'll type. Right inside of here, now it's going to ask us what to name it. You can name it basically anything. I'll say ads bot by T for YouTube. And now I have to go ahead and choose a username. You always have to put _bot at the end of this. So I'll say YouTube bot ads n8n, and then I'll just do bot. So this is super important because this is going to be your API key. So you will need this moving forward. The first thing I'm going to have you do is go ahead and copy this API key. After this, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up our Telegram trigger. The first thing we're going to do is hit this drop down, create a new credential, and then put in our API key right here, which is our access token. Now you can name this whatever you want. You hit save, but if we do see now, you'll have green and the connection will be good. So what this basically means is I'm going to go ahead and hit execute workflow, and now it's waiting for a response to come from me. So the way to go ahead and actually open up this new bot that you just created is you'll click this link, which is right here. Then you'll click start. As you can see already, information did get passed through, but I'll do it again. So I'm going to hit execute workflow, and I'm just going to say, hi, I'm testing this. And as you can see, if we go ahead and open this, you're going to see the text right here. Hi, I'm testing this. And everything did just get passed through. So the next thing that we will go ahead and build out is sending a text message. So after, and the reason that we're actually doing this is because after we go ahead and get the image from the prospect or the text, we want to be able to notify them that everything's working and we did get the message. So we'll go ahead, we'll type in Telegram, we'll go down to send a text message node. Inside of here, we're going to go ahead and grab the chat ID. And then inside of the text, we can put in anything it is that we want to go ahead and put in, because this is going to be what the message is going back to the actual client, to yourself, to your business, to your Slack, to your team, etc. So I'm just going to take this and also we're going to leave this as a fixed field, not an expression. So we'll leave this as fixed, and I'm just going to put, I'm coming up with a prompt, hang tight. Now, I will show you really quick. If we go ahead and execute this step, as you'll see, we got a success, but you'll see that this message was sent automatically with n8n. We don't want that inside of there. It just looks ugly. So we'll go ahead, we'll add in a field, append n8n, and then we'll turn that off. And then now when we go ahead and send it, you'll see that that is not there anymore. So if you didn't want to get rid of that, that's exactly how to do it. So the next thing we have to do is we actually have to go ahead and download the image that we have now sent over through our Telegram. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an HTTP request node inside of my documentation. And it's very important to go ahead and rename these nodes. So anything in blue is going to be the node name. And the reason it's important is because this is how everything's going to link together and then be able to talk to each other as it goes further and further down this pipeline. So I'll go ahead and jump up into here, and I'm going to rename this image. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use this URL. I'm going to make sure that this is a get method because we're trying to get the data, and I'm going to post this. So this URL, it's also very important to note. We'll have to jump back to the bot father for this. So if you see inside of here, it's going to be this entire URL. This is where you're going to have to put in your API key. So inside of here, I'll zoom in just so you can go ahead and see this, but it's going to say bot and then brackets API key. So you're going to delete that, but you're going to leave bot. And then what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my API key again, and then I'm going to put it right after bot, just like this. So now that we have that, everything should be good to set up inside of here. But the one problem is that we don't have any images inside of there. So let me get an image in there really quick. Okay, so for the image it is that I'm going to go ahead and use for this example, I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of this TV remote. So I went ahead, I took a picture of the TV remote, and I'm going to say, create me an ad using this TV remote. And the more information that you give it, the better off it will be. But I'm going to go ahead and hit execute trigger. And then now I'm going to go ahead and send my message. And we will be able to see that it has been loaded right inside of here. Okay, and as you guys notice, this actually failed. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to be able to show you guys live exactly kind of how this works. So if we go ahead and open this up, as you can see, it says bad request. Please check your parameters. What this typically means is it's going to be a URL, or it's going to be these parameters that are down here. Now, in this case scenario, I went ahead and I re-updated this. And as you can see inside of here, it says Telegram trigger inside of here. So what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and pull in the actual message photo file ID for us. And we have to go ahead and click this expression button for this to go ahead and work for us. So if I go ahead and I jump back over to here and now I paste this, all you have to do is hit copy. You will be able to see that it lights up green, and that's how you know it is working. And as you see, after I hit execute step, it does now work. We have the actual file ID. We have all the information inside of here, and now the file path where it's saved as a JPEG. So now that we have our actual file downloaded, our next step is to go ahead and actually analyze this image. So the first thing I'm going to do is come back to documentation. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to type in OpenAI, and then I'm going to find the analyze image node. And then inside of here, you will have to use an OpenAI API key. Now, just go ahead and create that. You can look at another video on exactly how to do that. It's very easy. You'll just go to OpenAI, create an API key, and then just put it inside of here. So inside of here, again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the blue, because that's the node name. I'm going to change it up inside of here. And then this is what I'm going to do for the text input. As you can see right here, text input. So text input. Now I'm going to go ahead and paste that. And then down here, this is going to be the URL that we're using. As you can see, we have that bot API key again that we have to put in. And we also have this JSON file. So it's referring back to the previous nodes, which is why orders and names matter. Now, if I click this, it's not going to work. And the reason being is because, one, I didn't choose a model, but the second thing is because we don't have an API key inside of here. Also, I didn't pin any of this data, but that is okay. But what we will have to do is go back and get our actual API key and then toss this right inside of here. And as you can see, I actually just resent that and ran it through again. So now OpenAI just analyzed this and it gives you a full description of exactly what this product is. Next thing we will do is go ahead and create our first AI agent node. And what we're going to do is name this first prompt. So this is where it's going to come up with the actual prompting it is that we use to give to our video models. And I'll type in AI agent right inside of here. We'll change this down to define below. The prompt, first thing I'm going to do is rename it. So it's going to be first prompt. I'm going to take the user message, which is right here. Also notice again, we're referring to previous node names. So that's why the names matter. As you can see, Telegram triggered. So now I'm going to type in for the prompt user message. It has to be expression and it will light up green if it works. Now I'm going to go to the system message. This is going to be using a guideline that I got from Robo Nuggets. He's amazing as well. So we'll add in system message right here and we will paste this in. I'm also going to require a specific output. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because we want a JSON output, because a JSON output with our VO3 video model makes the videos 1,000 times better. I always try to do a JSON prompt whenever I can. Now, inside of here, when you click this require a specific output, what it will do is create this output parser. You're going to hit a structured output parser right here. We're going to jump back into here, scroll on down to this right here. I'm going to take this JSON example, and then I'm going to paste it inside of here, so therefore everything's good. Now for the chat model, you're probably familiar with all of these. We have Gemini, Grok, Anthropic, OpenAI, etc., Llama. I'll just keep it super simple. I'll just use OpenAI for the chat model and just GPT 4.1 mini. And then the tool. So this is the think tool I always put in. The reason I put in the think tool is because this allows everything to be thought about exactly like a human would or like a human employee would, and it just makes sure that everything came out the way that your system prompt wanted it to come out. Before I keep going, if you guys do get bad results with this, the first thing, if I were you, I would come here and I would check this system prompt message and what it is that you're using, because this really kind of like deems the entire rest of the output of how the AI agent is going to work. First thing I'm going to do, though, I'm going to go ahead and pin all of these. I'm just hitting P on the keyboard, and I'm going to go ahead and run this. And as you can see, it's going to go ahead. It's going to think about the prompt. It's going to structure the output and then give us the output it is that we're looking for. Next thing we're going to do is use our set node, and this is just going to go ahead and clean the data. You can just type in set, and we'll let all this load, and then I will work on this. Okay, and I didn't let that node finish because I just remembered I went and put in a structured output parser right inside of here. So you'll go ahead, you'll click output parser, you'll do structured output parser, then you're going to click this auto fix format. Now inside of here, this is also where you'll have this information right here for the JSON example. And then what you will do is you'll go ahead and put in another model right inside of here. I always just use OpenAI chat model, and then we'll go ahead and we'll just let this run really quick. As you can see, everything has just completed. So this is what our output's going to look like now that it has went through our output parser. And the next thing we want to do is go ahead and clean that data, so therefore all the future nodes can go ahead and refer back to this actual set node right here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is drag in the image prompt, the video prompt, the caption prompt, the creative summary, aspect ratio, and video model, because we will need all of this down the line. Now I will go ahead and take out input or output inside of all of these. And as you can see, these are all expressions that are down here where it'll go ahead and show the result. So next thing I will do is just go ahead and I'm going to rename this cleaner just like that. And then I will save this. Now everything has been cleaned. So all the data will be passed through. So the next thing we have to do is the actual human check. So it's really good to have human in the loops, because AI, as perfect as it is, it does still sometimes mess up, and we just want to make sure that sometimes we have a second set of eyes on everything. So I'll click human in the loop. I'll come down to Telegram. Now inside of here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the trigger. I'm going to put in chat ID right here. Now for the actual message, I'm going to jump back to my documentation. I'm going to rename this node to human check. I'm going to take this message right here. All this message is doing is basically sending over, from this example right here, it's going to send over the creative summary, the image information, video details, etc. Now the next part, to go ahead and create the actual form itself, this is important. So what I will do is I will click response type and I will click custom form. After I click custom form, I'm going to come down and define the form. I'm just going to use the fields below. So these are going to be what the field names are. So if we jump back over to here, we have approve. So therefore, it's basically just giving us a drop down, because we'll make this a drop down list. And then we're going to have two different options. It's either going to be yes or no. So therefore, this lets you go ahead and choose whether you do want to allow it or you do not want to approve of the actual creative brief and the summary and the caption of everything for all your social media posts, your ads, website, etc. And then the second option is we'll add another form element, and it's going to be any comments. So we will allow yourself or the user to go ahead and change any comments it is that they want. So we're going to go ahead and make this one a required field, which is going to be the approve. And then the last thing that we're going to do is the append n8n attribution, and we're just going to go ahead and turn that off. So if I go ahead and run this, you should see it has been sent over. And if I jump back over to here, you will see all of the information has now been sent through. So this is that human in the loop step, whereas now you'll see that we have the caption inside of here. We have the creative summary. We have the image. We have the video information. And we also have the aspect ratio on the model, which looks really good. Now, if we go ahead and hit approve or not approve, we can either approve it, hit yes, and it'll move on to the next step, or we can hit no and then tell it to change something about the image, change something about the video. Say we want, instead of the video to have natural or LED accents, we could just say take away LED accents, or change everything and make this ad for something outside. You can really get super creative with this step right here. Before I go ahead and move forward with all this though, our next step is I want to go ahead and build the if then. So I will go ahead and basically this, what this is going to do is if the user responds yes or no, we're basically going to dictate where it goes to next. I will go ahead now and I'll just click yes for this case scenario. We'll go ahead and hit submit. And as you can see, the information has now been passed over to here. What I'm doing is creating that if then step. So if this field section right here, because what I did is I just dragged this field. If this section approved equals yes, it's basically saying go this way. But if it doesn't, then go down to the false portion. So what I do want to do is build out the false portion really quick right inside of here, which is going to be the rewriter. It's just going to be another AI agent that takes your comments into consideration and thinks about why you didn't like the last briefing. And then it's going to go ahead and create a new briefing for you. So inside of here, again, just doing define below, we'll jump back over to here. We're going to name this rewriter. I'm going to rename this. I'm going to grab the prompt message, put this inside of here. And then system message, which is this, require specific output. And as you can see, analyze image. If it's red as of right now, and that's totally fine. It's because it's pinned right inside of here. If it's pinned, sometimes it doesn't really pull the field, but that is completely okay. So what I will do is I'm just going to go ahead and connect this to our already existing nodes right down here. So our chat model can go here, our tool can go here, our output parser can just go right back to here. Now after this, what I am going to do is I'm going to send this back through to the cleaner so we can save all the new data it is that we need. The next thing we're going to go ahead and do is now we have to go ahead and process this. So basically, we just want to let everyone know that we're processing the image, and we want to be like, hey, basically everything's approved, everything's good. Let's go ahead and run this image. Now, the next thing I will do is I would have the chat ID, but I'm just going to do the text. Again, this should be fixed. We're going to turn off append n8n attribution. Now, if I go ahead and run this, it should. So the next thing it is that I'm trying to set up is this Telegram automation. So we can just go ahead and text you and basically say, hey, everything looks good. We're starting on the actual production of everything. Now, again, inside of here, you'll just go ahead, you'll put in the actual text of basically saying, awesome, everything's in progress. Right here for your chat ID, I want you to use the expression inside of here, which is just going to be this. And I'll just copy and paste this. I'll put this inside of here. And it's going to go ahead and pull that actual chat ID, which you can see right inside of here. So therefore, it can just connect and know which chat it is that we are talking to. Now, I'm going to rename this to progress. Just like that. And then the next step. So now that we just notified everyone and we're basically saying, hey, everything looks good, let's go ahead and actually start to create the image first. So again, that's where we're going to be using Key AI. It's an image generator. It can also do the video generation as well. And it can do quite a few things that's actually really cool. Won't get into it in this video. Cool. So now the next part that we will do is we will go ahead and create our HTTP request so we can go ahead and get our image created. So what you'll do is you'll type in HTTP request. And again, Key AI, this is going to be the tool that we're using. So you have to come over here, create an account and create an API key by clicking this and then create API key. And then this will be your actual key right here. Now to go ahead and get the documentation, just click documentation just like this. And the easiest way is to do this, click this, and then copy the curl and then just import it in. So you can do import curl, you can paste it and it will import everything just like this for you. Now this JSON might be a little bit different, but I have all of this done for you because we would need our JSON. And the next thing that's super important is this authentication. So right here, what you will do is you'll delete the token. And what I'm doing right now is I'm setting up the API key so both these softwares can talk to each other. Because in the example that I've given earlier, it's allowing you to talk to all your business tools, and this is how you do it. So what you'll have to do is you will jump back over to here. You'll grab your API key token, you'll copy it, and then you'll paste it inside of here. You make sure to have the space. If you don't have the space after this, it won't work. Also, all of this really matters. The reason I'm not going to do it is because I already saved it inside of here. It's just easier, and I don't have to give away my tokens so everyone can steal them. So again, now the JSON and everything is correct. All this, the post method, as we can see from the documentation, but we have this insert your bot key here. So again, we have to go back to our Telegram bot father. We have to grab this API token, and then we'll shoot on back over to here. And then what I will do is I will go ahead and paste my bot token. So everything will work inside of here, just like this. As you can see, if I go ahead and open this, we now have our actual image. We're sending over that prompt that has actually just been created, and then we have the size and the variance. So this is going to go ahead and create that image for us. So I'm going to go rename this back to create image. And then the next thing I'm going to do is create another HTTP request, and it's going to be a GET. So what we're going to go ahead and do is now grab the actual image that has been created inside of our Key AI. We'll grab this URL, which is right inside of here. We're going to paste this inside of URL. We'll keep this at GET, and then we're going to click send query parameters. So then I'll grab the task ID, and this is basically talking to the software and saying, hey, can I now have that photo that has been created, and can you send that back to me? Make sure that this is an expression, and then this should be good. Now, what I like to do is I put in a wait step, so therefore we don't have to, wait longer than we have to. For the sake of this video, I'll do 1 second, but I always put in 15 seconds right here. And what I'm doing is basically now just waiting for the actual video. And actually, sorry about that. Before this, I'll put in the switch node. And what we're doing with the switch node is now, depending on if the image has came back or not, we will And basically what this switch node is now doing is it's basically saying like, hey, do we have that image ready? If yes, move on to the next step and create the video. If no, keep waiting until it is ready. So I went ahead and I created these two different ones. So this is going to be the wait. And then I move this down here. And then I go back to the get image. Now, if we jump into the actual switch node, you'll see that we have the JSON data response right here is not empty. And this is actually going to be an object itself. So we'll jump into here. I'm going to put this again. This is just going to pull the expressions, and all this is going to make sense when we go ahead and run this. But we'll go ahead. We'll put the expression inside of here. We're going to change this down to an object, and we'll put does not exist. And then this one, it will be the same thing, but it does exist. And then I would just do object exist. So now it'll go ahead, it'll create the prompts, it's going to create the images, it's going to wait until the image is created, and then next thing we have to do is now send this image back to us. So if I go ahead and hit Telegram, I'm going to come down here and click send a photo message. Again, we will have that chat ID. So what we can do, the easiest way is we'll just come back over to this one and we'll just grab this chat ID right here. And then we'll put that for the expression, so therefore it can always pull it. And then what we will do is we will send that photo output. For this case scenario, I am just going to go ahead and put the expression inside of here. You can just write this yourself, or we can wait until everything comes through, because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how all of this works up until this point. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click save. As of right now, it is waiting for me to go and fill out this form, this human in the loop. I'm going to hit respond. Okay. I'm going to approve this and then click submit. And then now we will be able to see everything. We'll be able to continue to keep moving on. So the progress, as you can see, it says awesome. Everything is in progress. Now we're going to go ahead and create this image. So if we jump back over to Key AI and we jump into logs, this is where we'll be able to see the images that are being created for us as of right now. And as you can see right here, the status is now running. And this typically costs around 8 cents or so to actually create an image. So we'll go ahead and we'll let that run. And then once this is completed, I will go ahead and grab that image. Okay, so our image has finally been created. And remember, you're not going to have to sit here and wait in this software until this comes back, because that's what this switch and this wait node is designed to do. Also, if you want to go ahead and look at the temporary file, you can just copy that and you can pop this right into here, and you will be able to see the beautiful example it is that I went ahead and created for us. So the next thing, if you remember these JSON expressions that I did get, what I will do now is go ahead and change these out. Okay, so the reason that we didn't have that, and it's always good to troubleshoot this live with you guys, is because you saw that right here, I have an error that says 401, you do not have permission. The reason for that is because I did not put in the authentication. So this is what you would get if you don't put in that bearer and that API key. So I'll just put in my generic auth. And when I hit to rerun it, as you can see, it's going to bring me all the way back down to the human check. But everything will work. What I'm just going to do for the sake of this video and the sake of your time, I'm just going to take the task ID right here and I'm going to hard code it in. Now you should not do this. The only reason I'm doing this is just so we can move a little bit faster right here. And as you can see, I went ahead and I ran it, and then you can see the results URL right here as well. So all we're really looking for inside of this switch node is now that we want to be able to see, did we get back a URL, yes or no? Okay, and inside of here, I'm actually going to go ahead and change this. And as you can see, this is an AB right here. So that means this is the easiest way to see it, is it'll say AB string. You can just go ahead, you can just put, if this does exist, that means everything is good to go. Now, if this doesn't exist and it'll be AB or, is empty, then we're going to continue to keep waiting inside of here. So I'll go ahead and hit this, and as you can see, we got a success message and it went down the good path and not the wait path. If it did go down the wait path, it would just continue to keep trying to wait. Now, what I did is I deactivated all these and pinned this, so therefore I don't have to continue to keep using credits as I'm going to show you guys this walkthrough. Don't worry about it. You can keep yours active the entire time if you were wondering about any of that. But the next step is now I'm going to go ahead and pin this. The next thing I'm going to do is send this over to us. But since I have this pinned, again, you won't be able to see my chat ID. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send this photo back to us, but I'm going to take this out. You don't have to. The only reason I'm taking this out is because I'm hard coding my chat ID inside of here. Again, because I have all these deactivated, so I don't have to spend more on it. But you can see right here, this is where the image is. It has been sent back over to Telegram. So the next portion of this is now creating the actual video itself for the ad. So I'm going to create an HTTP request. I'm going to rename it to create via VO3. It's a post method, and I'm going to grab the URL. So I'm going to change this over to post. I'm going to put in the URL, the authentication, generic auth header. It's going to be my VO3. It's important to note that we'll do a send body. It's important to note that it will go to raw. Content type will be application JSON. We will go ahead and take this JSON code for the body. And as you can see, for some of mine, some of this is red, but this is where it's going to go ahead and pull in all of those old expressions from this actual set node itself. So all that information will automatically be imported inside of here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hard code it in for you for the sake of this video. What I did is I just went ahead and I recreated everything for you, so therefore I can show you the actual prompts and everything that will be sent over. So now if we go ahead and open this, you'll see all the expressions right here are now all lit up green. You can see the aspect ratios. You see that we actually have the temp file, the new photo that has been created, which is right here. And we also have all the prompts that should be sent over. So if we go ahead and now click this, it will go ahead and create that video for us. As you can see, code 200, success, and here is that task ID. So as this is being created over inside of PAI, we can click VO3 and we can see that it is running as of right now. The next thing we will have to do is we'll have to go ahead and get that video when it is finally created. So I'm going to create another get node. I'm going to change this to get video. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to rename this. I'm going to leave it as a get. I'm going to have this URL, paste it inside of here. Again, your authentication has to be here. It doesn't have to be exactly right here, but what you can do is you can send your headers, send it using this, the authorization and your bearer and your API token key, which would go right here. You need that because that's like the pass key in order to unlock all of the things behind your door inside of your account. So under the query parameters, I'm going to remove this for me. I'm going to turn on query parameters. I'm going to paste task ID and then this JSON expression. Now, it's also important to note this is case sensitive, this whole thing, so it all does matter. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this switch node and wait step again, and I'm going to paste it over here, and I'm just going to reconnect that to this. So now that we have that plugged up and connected, the last thing I will do is go ahead and connect this back to my Telegram, and I will send a video. Once this video does come back, I'll finish setting everything up. Okay, and now the video has came back and is a success. So let's go ahead and run this get video. And as you'll see that we actually did now get the final video results. So inside of here, I'm just going to open this, make sure this is good. And everything does look good. Everything is lit up green. So I will execute the steps. And it went down the good portion again. So this is where I will have to reconnect the actual chat ID. And again, I'll just drag this. I'll go to the Telegram trigger, send video. And then for the actual video, I'll go back up to this file and make this a little bit bigger for you. And I will go to the get video. I'm going to grab the results URL 0 right inside of here, send back that video, and then everything should be good to go. So I'll go ahead and execute this step, and then it should all be sent over here. And then this is what that final video looks like. Pretty cool. Awesome. So now you guys know exactly how to go ahead and build this entirely from scratch. Now, a couple extra bonus things for you. If you want to go ahead and be able to create this for anything inside of your business or be able to create different products, create different videos, you can go ahead and upload pictures from the internet, whatever the case may be. If anything does come out the way you don't like it consistently, go into the prompt portion, go into the system message right inside of here, and change this system message, because this is what's going to give you more and more consistent results. And lastly, if you guys want to go ahead and get a custom AI agent completely built out for you or your business, go ahead and click the second link in the description. Shoot me over a message. I'll get back to you. I'll see if I can even help you in any way. And without further ado, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Go ahead, get creative, and I will see you on the next one. Talk to you soon.